Or specifically in the case of Meghan, it's because they're being told what it is that they want to hear. They actually want to hear things that are hateful and harmful about this woman. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a long time since I've made a video and I am sorry about that, but I have been busy on my own projects and perhaps I'll talk about that in my next video. A lot has happened since I've gone and I'm not going to get too deep into it. However, what has been happening in the last 7 months is what has led me to want to make this video today. I am constantly shocked but not surprised at the way in which people really allow the news and the tabloid press specifically, and more so in Britain, I think, manipulate them. But when you own all the big media powerhouses, it's pretty easy to do that. It's also very easy to create a narrative about yourself. And that is what I did a couple of years ago. And I want to show you just how easy that is, because I think it'll then show you just how easy it would be to make up a false narrative about someone else. So sometime in 2014, I wrote a very, very bad erotic novel. I wrote it under the pen name of Lola Pulse. And I also used a fake name at the time. I was going under the name of Aura Borealis, which don't even ask me why I picked that name, I just did. I just wanted to make sure that if future employees Googled my name, they wouldn't find me. So in order to get this really, really bad erotic novel some press, I wrote a fake press release and had a PR person put it through a newswire. So when you write a press release and it gets put through a newswire, it then gets sent to all the relevant journalists that you told the PR person to send it to. So in my case, because it was an erotic novel, it went to a lot of editors that deal with publishing and kind of the women's section of different newspapers and websites. And believe it or not, it caught the attention of the Daily Fail. So I got an email from one of their editors and it said, "Hi Aura, I work at Female Mail Online and would love to run a story about your new book. Can we use a headshot from your website today, please? And are you free for a quick chat? Thank you so much." So when I saw this email, I actually got a little bit scared because I thought, oh, she might start asking more questions and I wouldn't really know how to answer them, because I did tell quite a few porcupines in the press release, so I was scared that maybe she would catch me out. However, to my surprise, a couple of hours later, I realized that the traffic on my blog had shot up. And it's because she had posted the article. And I then got another email that said, "Hi Aura, thank you. Sorry, my editor wanted to get it up so quickly. So I hope it's okay to have just used what I did. Great story." So straight away there, you can see that they were more interested in getting the story up than doing any amount of fact checking. And as you're going to see shortly, I told so much BS in that press release. It's actually quite remarkable that it ever even got reprinted. Another thing you're going to see is that they basically just reposted everything that I wrote in that press release, and I wrote it in a way that it could just be reposted as a story. And that is basically what happens nowadays. The journalists on news desks do not have time to fact check things, so they rely on press releases and things that are pre-written just so they can get a story out really quickly. So let's read what I wrote. So the title of the article was, "Is this the new E.L. James? 23-year-old beauty blogger turned author self-publishes erotic novel. XOXO Lisa saying, I think we've had enough of clumsy girls chasing billionaires." Now, here's a little tip for you if you want to ever get into the press. They love these kind of headlines. It's catchy, it's clickbaity. I'm talking about something that's relevant. 50 Shades of Grey was the big thing then, so this was definitely something that was going to catch both the editor's eyes and anybody reading. So I'm now going to read out the article, and just so you know, about 90% of what was written in this article is what I wrote in my original press release. "Eat your heart out, E.L. James. There's a new writer in town and she's set to get pulses racing with her own erotic fiction. 23-year-old Aura Borealis from London has self-penned and self-published part 1 of her trilogy, XOXO Lisa Part 1, under the pseudonym Lola Pulse. The beauty blogger and aspiring fashion designer was a runner-up in the 2017 Princess Beauty pageant, which was held in the Czech Republic. Now that is actually true. I did participate in a pageant in the Czech Republic in 2007, but it was not called Princess Beauty Pageant. I don't even know where they got that from because that was not the official name. That's not what I wrote in my press release, but anyway. After her degree in fashion marketing, which will see Aura launch her own line of silk scarves in August, she started writing children's, young adult and erotic fiction. Now that is also true. I did have a line of silk scarves which completely bombed, and I was writing children's and young adult at the time. Although I never published anything that was children or young adult, I went on to non-fiction. But far from the naive and submissive character of Anastasia Steele in 50 Shades of Grey, Lola Pulse's story centers around a high-flying, high-earning, anonymous city blogger. In the book, available to download on Kindle through Amazon, Lisa starts writing about her sexual escapades online and swiftly builds up a loyal fan base who can't seem to get enough of her steamy adventures. By the way, the book did actually sell 300 copies after this article went out. Aura's blog, Aura Borealis Writes, currently boasts over 50,000 followers. Now that is a complete and utter lie. I bought fake followers on my Twitter at the time and it had 50,000 on it. But they were not real followers and the journalist did not fact check this at all, didn't even ask for my blog stats. So it goes on a little bit, but the other parts aren't as important. What I want you to really get from this, guys, is just listen to the kind of tone that I'm using. It's quite incredible to read this back now because you really do get a sense that I know what it is that the editors want to hear. And a lot of, you know, what gets written in the British press, it is very kind of clickbaity sleaze. The fact that I'm mentioning E.L. James and I'm saying that my book is better, I'm still kind of shocked that this even got published. But it is what it is, and it just shows you. I mean, I put this together in 30 minutes. I created a whole different persona about myself. I bought fake followers and it got published. There was nothing that was checked. And following this, I actually got interviewed by another editor for another online magazine called Female First. And then I also got contacted by a producer who was doing a documentary on 50 Shades, and that was for a TV show. I honestly have never actually even watched that interview back, and I'm not going to link to it here because there was something that just happened in the interview. I was quite unhappy afterwards about the way the producer kind of conducted herself. There was a question that I didn't really want to get asked and she asked it anyway, so I've never really watched it back because it just really annoyed me and I think it would just upset me if I watched it. But it did eventually lead to me being on a TV show, and again, throughout the entire process of all of this, nobody was really asking me anything. There was no fact checking. Everybody just wanted their story, and that is the state of mainstream, particularly tabloid journalism now. Everybody just wants their story. Everybody wants the clicks. It doesn't matter whether there's truth or not. I also have to give a shout out to Chris Atkins, who is the producer of StarSuckers, which is a brilliant documentary about the press, about fame, about the culture of celebrity. If you have not watched that, please do. It will just change the way you look at the press and celebrity forever. And that was where I actually got the idea to do this, because it is so easy to just generate fake stories and generate fake news. Now, in my case, it was all just a bit of a laugh. I got my book sales, I got a little bit of money in my pocket. But if the press really want to destroy you, if they really want to ruin your life, they will. And you only have to look at what's going on with Harry and Meghan. You look at what happened with Carolyn Flack. I mean, they're just ruthless and they don't care. They really don't care who they hurt as long as they make their money. It never ceases to amaze me how people honestly take what the tabloid press say as fact. And I don't know if it's because they're just not aware that they're being lied to, or specifically in the case of Meghan, it's because they're being told what it is that they want to hear. They actually want to hear things that are hateful and harmful about this woman. And they really don't care if it is or isn't true because it makes them feel better about themselves. It gives them an outlet to hate this woman. It gives them a canvas for their hate. And in the case of Meghan, I feel that she just really brought out the insecurities of a certain group of people. She made them feel mediocre and now they're just spewing out their bigotry and hatred. instead of dealing with their own issues. Hating Meghan is not going to help you in your own life. Who it is helping, however, are the news editors that write these stories. In fact, they are the only ones who are benefiting. So I'm going to finish by reading some of the comments on the Daily Mail. They were actually surprisingly quite nice for Daily Mail commentators. One person said, "A strong female voice in erotic fiction, about time. Not that this old dude reads that kind of thing." Someone else said, "Wait a minute. Someone who calls herself Aura Borealis needs a pseudonym to publish a book." And there were actually quite a few people that commented on my name, and I just find it funny how other members of the public kind of smelt my BS and the editor didn't. Aura Borealis, is that her real name? How much is she paying for this free advert? Somebody else said, "I wonder what I'd have to do to get free advertising for my book." Well, Pandora from Indiana, all you have to do is write a fake PR piece and put it for a newswire. Best Dad Ever from On the Beach, United Kingdom said, "Aura Borealis writing under a pseudonym? Is this article legit? Come on, what's her real name? Bet it's Tracy or Shannon. Definitely not Almost Northern Lights. April the 1st again." So there you have it, my 15 minutes with the British press. Really wish that people would stop believing what they read. Most of it is just made up trash, especially in the tabloids. I think what's so sad about here in the UK is that our tabloid press is actually considered news. Whereas if you look at, for example, in America, their tabloid press, the US weeklies, the People magazines, they are very firmly considered tabloid press, and all the other mainstream news channels are what are, you know, considered news. The two rarely kind of, you know, overlap each other. You might get some entertainment, you know, news put in the mainstream news, but it will be in its own kind of like entertainment celebrity segment. Nobody goes to US Weekly or People to get the actual news, whereas people go to the Daily Mail, the Sun, the Mirror, all of the red tops to get their news. If you've had any experiences, good, bad, funny, weird, with the British press, please do comment below and let me know. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!